Hi everyone, welcome to Water Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, and this is my old mate Frosty 2 from 2AR clan. Frosty 2, if your name's Frosty, then his name's Frosty 2. See what I did there? Anyway, here we are in the T37. Tough crowd, not even one laugh over that joke. Anyway, T37 time. Frosty 2 absolutely loves his T37. Have a look at that, 2 marks of excellence on that little gun barrel. T37 is the Tier 6 light tank of choice if you're doing Tier 6 clan wars or skirmishes, all that kind of stuff. And Frosty, you can see they're just spotting at the moment. Doesn't want to give his position away by shooting at those medium tanks. He does get lit though, probably by the M4, or maybe that's Skoda. Who knows? The T37 sports a 76mm gun, 115 average damage per shot, 126 penetration as he loses his driver and gets stunned by the Tier 7 French light tank. Frosty 2 in a Tier 7 game. Just 3 Tier 7s on each team. A T29, a Tiger, and a S51 artillery on Frosty's team. The enemy have the French artillery with a Comet and a Tiger P. Let's see what he can do on steps. Just doing a little bit of spotting early on. Doesn't want to dive right into this northeastern flank where all the action often seems to happen on steps. This is going to be 2 battles featuring Frosty 2 from 2AR clan in the mighty T37. It's quick, it's nimble, it's got a good rate of fire. You can see he's got binoculars to help his view range to try and spot out a few enemy tanks. He's on the same light tank mission I'm on at the moment. I think that's for the Object 260. Spot and damage 3 enemy artilleries. That's going to change when the personal missions change. Next mini patch, I believe. But there'll be more on that in the video. Another day. 0-2 the score now. Frosty 2 from 2AR. Only just put the 1 shot in at the moment, and he's also got a little bit of assisted damage. He's just getting warmed up though. He has lost nearly half of his health though. He's down to 348 hit points. As he looks for some cheeky shots into those other enemy tanks, the M4, which is also stunned by Artie. He does get spotted though when he shoots. And the S51 picks up, was that 2 kills in 1 shot? Well done. Well done. The S51's an artillery tank that I've never played, but by all accounts I've heard it's a pretty good one. Anyway, clearly got a decent splash radius on it, picking up 2 kills with the 1 shot then. 2-3 the score. Frosty's on 230 damage, 237 assisted damage. Somebody spotted up that Tier 7 artillery piece. It looks like Frosty might be trying to move into a position where he can get a different angle and maybe take out that French artillery. Looks like he is moving though. You can see him moving on the mini-map. Doesn't have a shot there. Let's see what he's going to do now. That Comet on 857 health is probably the priority target at the moment. It's a top tier tank, and it looks like Frosty's team do have the numerical advantage against that Comet. T34 on very low health. Frosty looking for the kill shot. Doesn't need to because the Hellcat gets rid of the Tier 5 Russian medium, and that evens the scoreboard up at 3 apiece. Looks like the Comet has taken his brave pills, moving in to try and flank that T29. 3 tanks go down as Frosty puts another shot into that Comet, takes it down to 70 hit points. Artillery has a swing and a miss, and finally that Jagdpanzer 4 picks up that kill. But 4 friendly tanks went down in the same time it took to get rid of that Tier 7 British medium tank. And that I reckon that happened over here on the western side of the map. Frosty's worked that out, and he knows that even though he's only on half health, he needs to help with this push towards the east because the west is well and truly lost. Just a Tiger 1 holding up a Tiger P, a KV-1S and a Hellcat. The IKV-103 you can see is going back to try and help that western push by the enemy side, but have a look at all those enemy tanks there, and the S51 looks like he's also in trouble from that looks. Not sure what Frosty's going to do here. The score's 7-8. He's got a kill. It's 8 all now. The S51 looks like he derped that little Leopard tank, the Tier 5 German light. The Tiger picked up the kill on the KV-1S, but in the end he went down to the Tiger 1 on the western flank. 8-9 the score now. They're just down by 1 tank. Frosty gets spotted here. Needs to be careful. There's still 1 artillery in play, and it's a fast-firing British Tier 6, the FV304, the Bertie artillery, as he tries to do something in the north. The Nazorn picks up the kill on the Jagdpanzer 4. That's all down to 169 hit points. Looks like that's the target, the tank that Frosty's going to be targeting now. Or if that Hellcat's looking towards a Leopard, then Frosty might be able to get some side shots into the Tier 6 American tank destroyer. It looks like a Leopard just unloaded his machine gun on the Hellcat. Auto aims on the Nashorn, shoots twice and misses both shots. Bit of lag there. You can look, if you look at the top left side of the screen, not sure how good your eyesight is. I can only just see it. His ping's on about 300. He ends up picking up the kill on the Nashorn, but now that Hellcat has firmly got Frosty in his sight, so he just using the dead Nashorn as a little bit of cover. The score is 9-11. They cannot afford to lose Frosty in this part of the game. He bounces the Hellcat's shell, and he should beat him on the reload. He does. Picks up his third kill. 10-11 is the score. Now, what's he going to do? Looking at the mini-map, you can see lots of enemy tanks encroaching on the friendly base. I'd be inclined to go up here in the northwest for a bit of an arty run. That FV304 just fired, but there's a very good chance the artillery's down here towards F1, bearing in mind that's the flank that their team won pretty convincingly. Still only down by one tank. We've got the Hellcat. He's having a pretty good game. He's on 2 kills. Frosty's on 3 kills. He's also on 1,163 damage, nearly double the amount of hit points that he brought into the game. And of course that M44, who would probably be feeling a little bit nervous. He's moved himself into a position over here so he can get shots towards the KV-1 and the Hellcat back towards the friendly base. Here comes Frosty now, 8.5 minutes left on the timer. You can see the Tiger P. I'm not sure, is he spotting that Tiger P or is it the artillery? We'll find out. If the artillery is spotting that Tiger P, then the artillery would most likely be spotted. No, it was Frosty because he picked up 206 assisted damage as the arty probably put a shell into the Tiger P. Looking towards the Hellcat now, puts one shot in him. He's got the binoculars activated, so he should be able to keep him lit. Let's just put a blind shot in. Not sure where that blind shot went. Was the Hellcat on enough health for Frosty to one-shot him or not? Maybe just got an unlucky bounce or an unlucky tracking shot as he starts moving back towards his Hellcat. I know the Hellcat's certainly on less than 348 hit points, which is what Frosty's on. Using his vision now, he does get spotted. You can see that in the way the KV-1 turned to aim towards Frosty. There's the Hellcat. Finally gets rid of him. Does cop a big shot. 263 damage from the American tank destroyer. Artillery takes a swing and a miss towards Frosty, but the M44 picked up the kill on that little birdie, little FV304. Still sticking with standard rounds here, the KV-1. Pretty heavily armoured tank at tier 5. Gets a little bit more assisted damage. Artillery clearly looking towards that KV-1. We haven't seen a Tiger P for a while. I would not be surprised at all if that Tiger P came right around and got that artillery. That's why Frosty's picking the map saying, come back up this way, mate, because that Tiger P could flank you pretty easily. There's one shot into the KV-1. He does get spotted though. Puts another shot towards him. Pulls back before the KV-1 can turn his turret towards Frosty 2. You can see artillery just took a swing at the tier 5 Russian heavy tank. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. 13 all is the score. Frosty's on 4 kills, 1,602 hit points of damage. He's blocked the shot by the looks of it, 115. Also just under 1,800 assisted damage. Moving up to a bush to try and keep these tanks spotted. He's on 442 hit points. He's certainly going to need some help from the artillery. That's going to help. Takes him down to 341. It'll take 3 more shots to kill this KV-1. He's down to 188 health. He needs to get rid of it before that artillery gets spotted if he wants artillery support towards the end of the game. The artillery looks like he's already been shot once for about 119 damage, I reckon, if my mathematics is correct, so which would indicate it was probably something a little bit smaller, which is no longer in the game. Probably that, Leopard who was harassing the artillery early on. Not looking too good right now. 13-14 is the score. Just the artillery left, and of course nothing spotted. Sounds like he just fired. Looks like he got the Tiger P for 185 because Frosty 2 picked up that assisted damage. But with just an artillery left in this battle, Shadow of War in the M44 putting up putting up a bit of a fight. Frosty 2 is just looking around thinking, oh, well, what else could I have done in that game? 1,856 hit points of damage, a little bit blocked, nearly 1,000 assisted damage. And look, it's not going to be not a high chance that this artillery piece will be able to kill both of these tanks. Well, it looks like the KV-1 fired and missed. The artillery did get a shot into the KV-1. I'm not sure, and that's what Frosty's looking at now. He's trying to work out if the Tiger P's got shots or not. KV-1 shoots and misses again. M44 needs to get rid of a tank, and he does. Picks up the kill on the KV-1. Shadow of War, well done, old son. You're only on 161 hit points. He wants to hope that the Tiger P misses this one, but unfortunately it doesn't. And it's going to go down as a loss for me old mate Frosty 2 from 2AR Clan. However, have a look at the post-game battle results. You can see he's picked up a swag of medals. He's picked himself up an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. Also the Bruiser medal for some module damage, which is a little bit unusual to get one of those in a low tier light tank. The Duelist Fighter, fire for effect in the high caliber. When he sent me this replay, he said, I really don't know what else I could have done for that win. This Tiger P, he got 3 kills. He didn't have a bad game at all, but Frosty 2 well and truly did more than anyone else on either of those teams, and unlucky not to get the win. 1,856 hit points of damage, 4 kills, 30 shots fired, 20 hit, 18 went through, 980 assisted damage. Made some decent coin, 18 and a bit thousand credits with a premium account. You got an extra 4,500 for an achievement there. That's probably for the high caliber. Unlucky not to pick up the win on that occasion, but Frosty from 2AR Clan will be straight back into battle and trying to turn another game around and try and make an absolute ripper to send into stewiejp at Get On Board Studios down here in sunny Melbourne. This time you can see he's on Fisherman's Bay. Similar kind of teams as well. It's a tier 7 game, just 3 tier 7s on each team. A Comet, an ISU 122S, which is one of the Berlin trio tanks, or Berlin quintet. Was it 4 or 5 tanks? I can't remember. Anyway, and of course WZ131, the tier 6 Chinese light tank. And Frosty's spotted a few tanks here, and he's worked out that this Tiger P can't see him, so why not? Why not just unload into these tanks? KV-1, hopefully that's not the same KV-1 who was in that other in the other game. Tracks him. Nobody else manages to damage the KV-1. Looks like artillery's firing towards him. Frosty 2 putting more shells into the tier 5 heavy Russian tank. It looks like he's only got the top of the tank to aim at. Puts a blind one in. 567 damage so far, and that's just into those 2 heavy tanks, the KV-1 and the Tiger P, as well as some assisted damage. Moves into some bushes, doesn't want to get too aggressive too early. He's a very patient man, Frosty 2. I've played with him a number of times over the years. Very good at looking at what's happening on the map, and also working out when's the right time to push and when's maybe not the right time to push. Decides he doesn't want to get hit by any of those big guns, and if a light tank's job is to spot enemies, he's done his job. He spotted the KV-1 and the Tiger, and he probably spotted some of these medium tanks that have made their way into town as well. Moving up back again into the central road, the T37 picks up a kill, getting rid of the Skoda T25. Still early days though. Skoda T25 at tier 6. Still 3 tier 7s on each side. The Comet, the ISU and the WZ131 on Frosty's team. There's that KV-1 again. He hasn't learned, has he? Sorry, old chap, but oh, there's a good shot into the grass if that's what he was aiming for. Tracks the KV-1. Artillery be nice. Nice if artillery drops something on him right about now. That's what he'll be thinking. But no, he's going to think, I'll do it myself. Picks up the kill on the tier 5 Russian heavy tank, even though he was no longer spotted. Pulls back, doesn't want that Nazor to be shooting at him. And a massive thanks to Tim Bob from 1AR. Nazor, not Nashorn. Very important to get these tank names right if anyone's going to take me seriously. 1-all score, Frosty 2 from 2AR Clan. If your name's Frosty, his name's Frosty 2. is looking towards that Nashorn, who looks like he might be engaging with those mediums and the KV-1 over towards the eastern side of the map, or even that ISU 122S. 2-3 is the score. Hello, VK. This one should be nice. Goes a little bit low. You can see he's looking for the tracking shot. Puts a shot into the VK. Goes unspotted. Puts a blind shot towards where he was last seen. Artillery takes a swing and a miss. It's a fantastic feeling when you're in a light tank and artillery shoots and misses. The score's 3-all. He's on 901 damage already. So he's already secured the fire for effect medal. Pardon me. Looking towards that T37. Tanks going down everywhere though. The WZ131, the top tier light tank, got taken out by the IKV 90B, and that T71 on the enemy side picked up another kill, getting rid of the Panzer 4H. But then the enemy Nashorn kills the T71. I wonder why. I wonder why he did that one. Maybe we know the Nashorn. Well, we know that where the Nashorn is. There, he's right there. Looks like he's just turned around. Maybe the T71 was back here sniping, and the Nashorn wasn't too happy about that. Not sure. Bit of team killing going on the enemy side. 4-5. You'll take that though. If he wants to get rid of a top tier light tank, then he's more than welcome to. Nashorn is in a very interesting position for a tank destroyer. You don't often see tank destroyers up that close to the front of the fight, especially lightly armoured ones, like the T6 German TD. 4-5 the score now. Frosty 2 on 1,022 hit points of damage, 140 assisted damage. He's just getting warmed up. He'll be looking at that Type 64. There's that lag again. I'm not sure if it was lag or maybe he's just a little bit excited to put a shell into this premium Chinese Tier 6 vehicle. It's not a bad tank, this, the Type 64. Very quick rate of fire. Needs to help this Comet. This Comet is in the world of trouble. Shoots the house to get rid of it so he can get a better shot at one of those tanks that seems to be pushing on the British medium tank. No shots as such. Not sure if he's going to get a shot into the artillery. Looks towards him. I'm not sure if that was the Bishop or the Grill. I think it was the Bishop. Bishop, not the biggest target in the world. 5-6 the score now. The IKV 90B. Frosty would love to get a top tier tank destroyer out of the game. Critical hits him with the first shot. Binoculars are fired up, but it's not really going to help him that far back behind the bush. So he moves a little bit forward. Artillery is indicating where he's intending to shoot. There's that IKV's behind that mound now, so no more shots for Frosty as yet. Chi Nu gets seen at tier 5. Pulls back behind the bush. Not going to pull all the way back. He knows he's going to get spotted. He didn't pull back all the way behind the bush, but he wanted to make sure he picked up the kill. 6-7 the score now. Frosty 2 from 2AR on 2 kills. 1,058 damage, showing great patience on Fisherman's Bay. You can look at the mini-map now. Look at these. They've got plenty of tanks in the town, so if they're going to do a push, that's got to be the eastern side. The SU-100Y all by himself over here at E1 is not going to last long there, especially if they've got mediums that can out-vision him. The T-67 goes down to the artillery, and that evens it up 7-7. Frosty just kicking back in these bushes, trying to provide a little bit of vision down to where these enemy tanks are. Shoots a Tiger P. I think he's probably hoping for a tracking shot there as well. And he just wants to unload into this top tier heavy tank. I'd be tempted to switch to APCR rounds. He's only got 5 standard rounds left. So he knows he's probably going to have to use some. Only simply because he's going to be out of bullets by the time he continues to carry this game. Plenty of people shooting at that Cromwell, but he's proving to be quite hard to hit, and Frosty will be shaking his head. That's just RNG. That's just bad luck. He did his best to try and keep the Cromwell tracked. He did get a shot into him, and looks like he picked up a little bit of assisted damage as well. Looking towards the VK and the Tiger P. He's got APCR loaded now because that's all he's got left, and he's going to need. He's only got 10 shells left. The way he's going, he's going to need every one of them if he's going to carry this game. Get spotted probably by the Cromwell. And the KV-1 goes down. Just 10 shells left. 7-8's the score. He's on 1280 damage. 820 assisted. 8 all now as the VK goes down to the M4A3E2. One of the American tier 6 medium tanks. Frosty looking for a shot on that Comet. He'd love to get rid of Cromwell. Nothing wrong with my eyesight. 9 all the score. There you go. That's what he's been waiting for. He wants to unload on this Cromwell. One more shot will give him another kill, and that will be it. That will be kill number 3 for Frosty 2 for 2AR clan. 3 kills, 1579 hit points of damage. He's only got 7 shells left though. I reckon he's already regretting all those shots that he was putting towards that Cromwell when he was right on the edge of that building. Puts 2 shells into the Type 4. Only 5 bullets remaining and 5 enemy tanks left. So he's going to want to be hoping that some of these tank destroyers are going to be shooting. This SU-100Y, even though the score's even at 10 apiece, this SU-100Y is out of the game. He hasn't got shots from where he is to down here, and he certainly hasn't got the vision to see whatever might be hiding down at H1, which I'm tipping is this Chi Nu, possibly this IKV-90B, and might be an artillery down there. Who knows? Looks like the tank destroyers are going to start moving down the southeast flank. These tanks that were last spotted in the central, western, southern part of the map. Doubt they're still there. They look like they might have been running away. But Frosty 2 doing the right thing here. He's got 5 shells left. He's on 3 kills, 1807 hit points of damage, 820 assisted damage. He looks like he's going to go for a different angle. They're going to need his vision, and he doesn't want to risk his last remaining 411 hit points to what the hell? How did he get spotted there? He just pulled back and he got lit. The tier 6 and the tier 7, the tier 5 and the tier 7 tank destroyers going for that grill by the looks of it. Artillery aiming at K6, which is the grill. IKV-103 picks up the kill. You can see the IKV-90B and the Chi Nu. And now the Type 64, the grill gets done by the IKV. The Chi Nu goes down. The Type 64 kills the ISU-122S, and that's the last tier 7 tank on Frosty's team. 12-11's the score, so it's 4 versus 3. They are up by a tank. This SU-100Y is finally in the game. But you can see someone's shooting him. Not sure what it is. Frosty 2 looking towards the Bishop. He would have liked a higher roll than that, simply because he's nearly out of bullets. Only 3 shells left. He's got the Type 64 to contend with. Gets spotted and pulls back. He doesn't want to get shot anymore by that Type 64. And have a look at the ammunition. He's only got 1 shell left. The IKV-90B and the IKV-103 kill each other. That's an eye for an eye medal for those 2 guys, and it's just a Type 64 left. He's got 1 shell left. How much health was the Type 64 on? I can tell you, it was not on much health at all. Let's see where he can go. And of course, if Frosty can pull this off, no use firing clutch now. You got to wait until you got the good shot, that's for sure. Is the Type 64 going to try and drown, or is he going to go to try and get to that annoying spot behind that bridge where people duck down, right down here at K0? Who knows? Frosty 2 throwing caution to the wind. He's going straight for the Type 64. He knows a Faden's medal is up for grabs. He sees the Type 64. He gets spotted. Of course, he knows. The Type 64 doesn't know, but Frosty knows. He's only got 1 shell left. Is he going to take this shot? He does! Picks up the Faden's medal. 5 kills. 2,245 damage, 820 assisted, and that is an absolute ripper from the old mate Frosty 2 from 2AR clan. An Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, the Bruiser Medal, fired up, 5 for effect, the Faden's Medal for killing the last enemy vehicle in the battle with the last shell remaining in the player's tank. Not an easy one to do. Actually went back and looked at my record. I've done it once. I think it was in an artillery in one of those long drawn out battles. High caliber, which is no surprise. Unlucky not to get the top gun. He got 5 kills, and look, I reckon he was 1 shot away from getting a top gun at some stage of the game. That unlucky game for the Bishop. A couple of donuts in that battle, including the ISU-122S being a top tier tank destroyer, even though he lasted a hell of a long time. He only fired 2 shots, didn't do any damage. Unlucky bugger. 2,367 hit points of damage from Frosty 2 from 2AR clan. 5 kills, 1337 base experience. He fired 50 shots. That's what the tank can carry. 50 shots, 32 hit, 24 went through, 820 assisted. Ace Tanker, Faden's medal, 10 gold for that little thing that Wargaming have going at the moment. With if you do some really good games, you get a little bit of gold, and have a look at that. An absolute ripper. Thank you very much for the replays, Frosty, too. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and see you all next time.